Welcome to the Lion's Den with Stephen Carr. Today we're going to be talking about the PA Governor election. Race heats up. Stacy Garrity made an announcement that she's going to run for governor. So did Rick Saccone, who was in the Senate, and so we got that going on. We're going to play an ad from her, and we are going to talk about it. And we're also going to be talking about that we at least need 40% voter turnout in the upcoming election in November 4th to get statewide judges across the finish line, get local municipal candidates across the finish line, including myself running for judge of elections and school board, and vacating the seats of the retention judges that's going on, and so forth. So we need a massive voter turnout in November to get things done, to drain the swamp, deconstruct administrative state, deconstruct the courts, the corrupt courts. These courts have shut down your schools. They voted to shut down your schools. They voted to shut down your churches. They voted to shut down your businesses, your livelihood, made you wear masks for 4 to 5 months, so you couldn't hardly breathe. They overturned sexual convictions of predators in Supreme Court cases. They enjoy catalytic expansion of pension. The longer they stay in office, the more money they get. They shredded our election integrity. They shredded our election integrity and kicked election integrity. Ignored the people. Ignored the people and said that they didn't have evidence of voter fraud in the 2020 presidential campaign for Trump, and turned their noses away from anything election integrity, and didn't serve the people. They kicked the Green Party off the ballot in 2020, voted for mail-in ballots 3 days past election day in 2020, and gave the third-party legislative maps to the Democrats to redistrict in 2018 and 2022 as well. And so it's time. So that's what they did, and that's why it's so important to have at least 40 to 50% voter turnout in Pennsylvania. In York County, the municipal election primary was egregious. It was egregious. It was horrible. It was pathetic. It was sickening. It was 10.5% voter turnout. In fact, I can even show it to you right now. Bingo. Here it is right here. Election day was 10.64% turnout. Absentee mail-in ballots, 16,000 some. Provisional ballots, 162. Total of 50,642. And registered voters, 318,447. 15.90%. 5.2 absentee ballots. This is how horrible it was total right there. So we need at least 40 to 50% voter turnout in the upcoming general election to get statewide judges across like Maria Batista and Matt Wolford, and school board candidates and county commissioners, county recorders, and so forth. We need a massive voter turnout. This is the time to get angry. This is the time to get mad. I mean, mad. Here you go. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about by these people, by these courts. Here you go. It says in Pennsylvania, as you can see, violated constitutional freedoms, locked down schools, churches, and businesses during COVID, picked winners and losers essential PA businesses, forced unconstitutional orders without due process, shredded our election integrity, twisted and enabled unfair redistricting, allowed mail-in ballots ballots returns 3 days after late 2020. Removed the Green Party from the ballot in 2020. Overturned convictions of sexual predators. CKCC enjoy lifetime catalytic pension plans at taxpayer expenses. The longer in office, the larger the pension grows. So we need to continue the fight. We need to continue to bring the fight to the deep state, to drain the swamp in Pennsylvania in the Commonwealth courts. And York County needs a huge voter turnout. Huge voter turnout. If there was no mail-in ballots, if there wasn't no early in-person voting, we would be in the 5% range. 5% range for voter turnout in the municipal primary. We need at least 50% in 50 to 40% in-person voter turnout, and a huge amount of early in-person voting. As you heard, President Trump this afternoon is doing away with mail-in ballots. He's going back to paper ballots. This is exactly what I've been talking about from here on out. In fact, I will show you exactly what I mean. I can find it. Hold on, guys. I don't think that's into it. Open. Snipping. There it is. All right. This is exactly what I was been talking about right here. If you can see it or not. Hold on. Oh, that's because you can't. So there you go. Oh, what happened? Here you go. Bingo. It says the steps needed for America Firsters to achieve the goal. This is the goal. Hand-counted paper ballots, no machines, mail-in ballots, only for military and in ballots, small precincts, one-day election. The goal to get there is every Republican Party precinct committeeman slot needs to be filled by a volunteer America Firster. Much greater turnouts of America First voters. Primary and general election America First winners. America First state legislators and governors. Hand-counted paper ballots, no machines, mail-in ballots, only for military and invalids, small precincts, one-day election. So that is the goal. Hand-counted ballots, no mail-in ballots, only for military and overseas and invalids, small precincts, and such forth. And he is doing just that. We're getting rid of machines. We're getting rid of We're getting rid of machines, and we're going to hand-counted paper ballots and getting rid of mail-in ballots because there's much more fraud in mail-in ballots than there is in hand-counted paper ballots. We're going back to the golden era. We're going back to what it should be. We are going back to winning elections. If there was no mail-in ballots, at this time, a lot more Republicans would be winning elections. Would be winning elections from now on, and so that is important. It's also important that we vacate these corrupt criminal judges, kangaroo judges in the Commonwealth, because they overturn convictions of sexual predators, and they voted for mail-in ballots 3 days past Election Day in 2020. They also get the vote on legislative maps to redistricting, and in fact, if we get a majority in the House, or if we get a majority in 2027 in a special election, and we don't have any gerrymandering, this is what it would look like. It says 13 Republicans, 4 Democrats. This is why We must kick all 3 Democrat justices off the Supreme Court this November. Vote no to retention for Judge Donahue, Judge Wetch, and Judge Doherty. Let's flip the Commonwealth Court. Flip the Commonwealth Court from blue to red. And this is the map of what it would look like if we didn't have non-gerrymandering. So, with that said, and here you go for the judges. This is how they voted. This is how the vote went. Mail-in ballots 3 days after Election Day in 2020. These 2 voted. All 3 decided to kick off the Green Party off the ballot, except for here democracy. We're going to kick the Green Party off the ballot. There's only a 2-party system. They said nobody can have a third party in 2020. Allow Governor Wolf to shut down PA during COVID. Only these 2 did. So altogether, you have to vote no for these 3. But there is more. Let me find it. These are the 5 that you have to vote 5 times for. Christine Donahue, David West, Kevin Doherty, and Alice Beck-Dubrow, Michael Wujek. They all need to go. They all need to be vacated off the bench so we can have a majority before the 2028 election. 2028 election. But it is that important that we need to keep pushing for everybody to get out and vote in upcoming election in November 4th, 2025, and rush to polls, rush to precincts, and stay involved and keep alert, because we can't let these corrupt criminals in another 10 years, and we got to keep the school boards red, and we got to keep the school boards conservative and county red, and so forth. Speaking of red, Stacy Garrity has announced this morning at 7 a.m. that she is running for governor of Pennsylvania. She's the only one that can do it at this point. 3.9 million votes in 2024 election for a statewide row office, and one with Trump on the ballot, and one with Trump not on the ballot in 2020. 3.9 million votes beats Josh Shapiro's 2.9 million in 2022 when he beat Doug Mastriano with almost close to, I think it was 9,000 some million votes, and he only had 48% of the vote at the time, and he is just not electable. I hate to say it. I'm not an establishment. I'm telling you the facts. Another run from Doug Mastriano would lead us to another 4 years again of Josh Shapiro. Like I said, who's on the top of that ballot in the primary, in the general election in 2026 matters. Not just for governor, but for state legislative seats and state legislative seats in the Senate and the House. In 2022, everybody just abandoned him because they knew that he wasn't able to win it. And he did, and we saw how that went. So there you have that as well. And I'm going to play for you. I'm going to play for you the clip of Stacy Garrity. See if this works.
I'm Pennsylvania State.
No, it didn't work. Okay. Maybe I need to go here. It's not working.
I'm Pennsylvania State.
All right, just not going to do it. All right, this is not going to work for me. All right, I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to show you a different way, guys, because it's clearly not working. So anyway, as I was saying, Stacy Garrity is running, and she's the only one that can do it. while I'm looking for this thing right now, I'm going to show you exactly. I'm going to show you share her campaign ad for you, and go on from there. So let's see. So here we go. Facebook.
I'm Pennsylvania State Treasurer Stacy Garrity. When I enlisted to serve in the military, I took a solemn oath to defend our country and to honor her principles. And I worked very hard to live up to that commitment.
Stacy Garrity not only served 3 deployments in Iraq, including Operation Desert Storm, but Stacy also reached the rank of colonel and earned the Legion of Merit and the Bronze Star twice.
Today, I'm announcing that I'm running to become Pennsylvania's next governor, and I'm giving you and your family my solemn oath that I will work hard every day to fix the problems Josh Shapiro has created.
While Josh Shapiro has been spending his time running for president and fundraising in California and other liberal states, raising money from far-left megadonors like Bloomberg and Soros, critical problems in Pennsylvania have been ignored. Shapiro has even failed to get the state budget done on time, which may lead to our schools not receiving the funding they need. That's unconscionable.
To know just how much of a failure Josh Shapiro has been, all you need to do is look at the facts. U.S. News & World Report now ranks Pennsylvania near the very bottom on our economy, education in our classrooms, and our state's infrastructure.
But it gets worse. Shapiro's also given PA families the 5th highest tax burden in the country, skyrocketing utility prices, and the highest rising food prices in all of America. You can thank Shapiro and his allies the next time you go grocery shopping.
I'm going to make your family one more promise. I will never embarrass Pennsylvania with scandals, unconscionable behavior, deleted emails and cover-ups, and a total lack of transparency like Shapiro has.
As Pennsylvania's state treasurer, Stacy Garrity has made ethics in her office and full transparency a top priority. And Stacy has exposed millions of dollars in fraud and inefficiency and returned over $1 billion directly to taxpayers.
Stacy
Garrity is also a strong ally of President Trump, and like the president, supports protecting health care and welfare benefits for vulnerable Americans, while requiring able-bodied recipients to work for their benefits and ending benefits for those here illegally.
Over the coming months, I hope to get to know you and your family better and share all my ideas of how we can make Pennsylvania more affordable, bring more jobs here so our young adults have more opportunities to stay here, and how we can bring integrity and honesty back to the governor's office. You see, I'm not just going to ask for your support. I'm going to work hard every day to earn it.
Stacy Garrity for governor. Finally, a governor more interested in raising hope than raising our taxes. Visit GarrityForPA.com to join Stacy's team.
There you have it, guys. That was Stacy Garrity's campaign ad. She announced at 7 p.m. Actually, I'll even bring it up for you if I can get it again. Where she announced on ABC 27. But the way I see it, and also the other one that did it was, I think he did. And Rick Saccone is a good man. He ran for lieutenant governor or governor in 2022 again. he believes in the Second Amendment. He believes in our godly heritage, and the First Amendment protected our constitutional freedoms and our constitutional rights. He wrote the bill. He wrote the legislation that didn't get passed, though, 76 legislation to protect property taxes, school property taxes, and so forth. He's a good lieutenant governor, but Stacy Garrity needs a woman lieutenant governor to run so we can get the women's votes as well. And there's only one person that comes to mind for lieutenant governor, and it's been talked about for a long time. Many people know her in Pennsylvania. She's the District 28 Senate Senator Kristen Phillips Hill. She would be a good one for lieutenant governor. I can't think of anybody else that would be a good one for her, but Stacy Garrity is the one to vote for governor at this time. I see no other options. Doug has not come out yet. He's already admitted that when he ran in 2022 that he screwed up when he told everybody to vote in person and didn't encourage mail-in ballots, which made him lose. He went too hard on the abortion stance, lost the woman vote, and he was just too far right for Pennsylvania. And he's a good man, but he's not electable again. And if he runs again, I hate to say it, but it could lead to another lame duck session. If you don't know what a lame duck session is, it means that we lose House majority, and we have a Democrat liberal governor again, like Josh Shapiro again, and we don't get anything done for the next 2 years or 4 years in the House, and the only thing that is red would be the Senate, like it is now. Somehow the Pennsylvania Senate is always red, and the House is always losing and not in the majority at the time. And even when we have a couple people on the left, on the Democrat side, either pass away or resign, we're still not in favor of a majority. I can say the other thing is in 2026, we have a huge opportunity to vote. Whether you're a precinct committeeman, whether you're a state committeeman, whether you are a registered Republican voter, we have a huge opportunity to vote for 3 very important positions on the ballot. And I'm going to show you those. This right here, Greg Rothman, state chairman, and Andy Riley, national committee man, and Christine Toretti, national committee woman. Now, here are the facts. And I knew this from a candidate who ran in the RNC election, who I am good friends with, her name is Harmeet Dillon. And she's now in Trump's cabinet as, I think it's in the court somewhere. I think she's a judge of something. But these two, including Tavis, all voted for Ronna Romney McDaniel in the RNC election. Should we vote on these, or should we vote for somebody else and get them in? That is up to you. This is where we the people come in. This is where we the people decide who gets on the ballot. Not only are these 3 up, but all of your state committee people are up for election. All of you state committee people are up for election. All you county committee people are up for election in 2026 as well. If you're planning on running, you only need 10 signatures for county committee position to get on the ballot or get appointed in 2020 before 2026. And so it is that important that we vote for these excuse me, vote for these people. In fact, let me bring up a thing for you. So then you have this, if you can see it. Says registered Republicans, that's you. Vote on precinct committeemen. That's people like me and others that are running on the election in 2026. You elect us, then we vote and elect on legislative district committee offices, county committee offices, and state committeemen. Then state convention delegates. Then we go to state committeemen vote on state chair, and state convention delegates, national committeemen, and committeewomen. National convention delegates. That's the process. In fact, just because you are a registered Republican affiliated in the party does not mean you're part of the party. You need to be a volunteer elected member of the Republican Party to be part of the Republican Party. And it's the most powerful office in the country. No precinct committeeman, no Republican Party. Why is it so powerful? Because precinct committeemen then vote on the county committee leadership, county GOP leadership. County GOP leadership votes on state committee leadership, and state committee leadership votes on RNC leadership. It is that powerful. It's that powerful. It's real political power. But back to the thing, like I said, we need to continue to push. We're only like 80 some days now into upcoming November 4th general election, when we need to continue to push and push and push as many people. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors to get out and vote in November 4th, 2025. Remind them that there's a general election, and that there's election on off years, and municipal elections on off years, and elections on, and then there's election almost like every 2 months or so, or 4 months or so, on off years and on odd years and on even years of the election. But we need to have a complete voter turnout. We need to have a huge, massive red wave come November 4th to vacate these corrupt liberal Democrat judges who don't like democracy, who overturn sexual predator convictions, who enjoy catalytic suspensions and staying in office, and shredded our election integrity, and voted for mail-in ballots 3 days past election day in 2020, and ignored evidence of 2020 Trump's 2020 campaign fraud, and turned their noses and didn't serve the people. It's time to get involved, guys. It's time to stay involved, and we need everybody out there voting and getting people out to vote. Text your friends, text your family, text your neighbors, text your school teachers, get them out to vote, make sure that they get out to vote. So the other thing I wanted to show you was the announcement of Stacy Garrity, and you see 27, because we like to show them, because they do report accurately, but it's also because that we like to flood the zone and so forth. So we are going to continue to so I'm going to continue to show you all this and more as soon as it loads here. Here we go. See if I can find I don't think it's going to play for me. It was a thing here. Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on, guys. Presentation.
Treasurer Stacy Garrity hinted for months
Here we go.
that she'd jump in the Republican race for governor. Good afternoon. I'm Mallory Metzner in for James Crummell today. Treasurer Stacy Garrity has hinted for months that she'd jump in the Republican race for governor. Today, she made it official. Dennis Owens joins us with one of the worst kept secrets in Harrisburg. Dennis.
No, Mallory, it's been really one of the worst kept secrets in Harrisburg. It was a question of when would Garrity announce, not if. And she does check a lot of boxes. She is a woman. Pennsylvania's never elected one of those. She holds the record for most votes in a statewide race. She's a decorated military veteran. And Garrity came out swinging in her announcement video today on social media.
Shapiro has even failed to get the state budget done on time, which may lead to our schools not receiving the funding they need.
To be clear, Governor Shapiro has steered record amounts of money to public schools every year he's been in office. In her 3-minute video, Garrity went after the governor on several fronts, including suggesting he's fundraising across the country to focus on a future run for president. Lots of analysts think Shapiro will be tough to beat for whatever Republican takes him on, but Garrity's already working to pierce that air of invincibility.
I will never embarrass Pennsylvania with scandals, unconscionable behavior, deleted emails and cover-ups, and a total lack of transparency like Shapiro has.
Statewide Democrats, they're swinging back, already released a statement accusing Garrity of being far right, who wants to strip away abortion rights, throw out Pennsylvanians' votes, and rip health care away from hundreds of thousands in the Commonwealth. In her video, Garrity touted the support of President Trump, but she may also have a fight from the right. State Senator Doug Mastriano, who ran and lost to Shapiro the last time, is still considering whether or not to run, says he would win a Republican primary if he actually got into the race. Again, he has not yet officially declared. And despite that, Mallory, we expect the statewide Republican Party will endorse Stacy Garrity. They've been gathering consensus around her. Next month, we expect that to happen. Doug Mastriano went on a national conservative radio show today saying he thinks that endorsement is a mistake because it's the party elites not just putting their thumb on the scale, but they're standing on the scale, is what Doug Mastriano said today. So that's going to be the real story. What's going on the Republican side? Will Mastriano get in and maybe spoil the party that some Republicans want to have for Stacy Garrity?
Yeah, interesting stuff there, Dennis. Has Governor Josh Shapiro reacted to this campaign?
He is basically not. He's basically saying we're going to let them play their quote-unquote parlor games and come up with whichever Republican it's going to be. In the meantime, Josh Shapiro, is working on helping Pennsylvanians. He's doing his job. But it is said by a number of Republican analysts that Josh Shapiro would rather have Doug Mastriano, the guy he beat a couple of years ago. And in fact, a couple of years ago, actually helped to engineer some things, did some commercials for Mastriano, trying to get Mastriano to be the candidate. So a lot of folks think that the governor would like that, and that Stacy Garrity is a formidable foe, but perhaps not as formidable as Josh Shapiro is expected to be. Incumbents always have an advantage. He will be well funded. He is a very good candidate, as we know. He's run for a number of offices, and he usually wins. So should be interesting. Again, that race isn't until next year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how that plays out.
Yep.
Thank you for that insight, Dennis.
Of course.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
There you have it. Even Josh Shapiro wants Doug Mastriano to run so he can win in the 2026 election. Because look what happened when Doug Mastriano won in 2022. He could not. He is not electable statewide. I hate to say it, but it is just what it is. The facts speak for itself. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that is exactly what is going on here, and Democrats want him to win, in 2026. But like I said, we need to get behind. We need to get behind whoever is running, and Stacy Garrity is the most qualified for this job. Has the most power and support behind her with 3.9 million votes. Statewide row office statewide row office in 2024, won in 2020 without Trump on the ballot. She's got the support. Doug Mastriano has yet to come out and say anything. So he could be a spoiler. He could not. Former Lieutenant Governor Rick Saccone came out and said that he's trying to get support from his friends and followers and constituents to run again. But 2025 November 4th is consequential. It is critical that we vacate these criminal, corrupt kangaroo judges in the Commonwealth, in the Supreme Court, because look what they did. They redistricted the map so Democrats could win more, and that's why we still got more. That's why we still got a lot of Democrats winning election after election. But like I said, President Trump came out today also and said we're going to get rid of mail-in ballots. We're going to go back to hand-counted paper ballots. We're going we go back to hand-counted paper ballots and no more mail-in voting. And so hopefully Republicans will win more that way. But we need to continue the fight each time. You can go to there's a link under this thing called GarrityPA.com. Go there, join the fight for Stacy Garrity, donate to her if you wish to choose to donate to her campaign. Get involved in the fight, get involved, because every single day it's going to be a fight to take back our Commonwealth and take back our republic and our constitutional republic and deconstruct administrative state and drain the swamp. We got to get out there and vote. We got to get out there and fight and stay involved in the election, stay alert on what's going on, and so forth. So that is what I have for you today. And I know it's short, but we need to continue the fight. We need to continue to deconstruct the administrative state. Look, guys, these people shut down your churches. They took away your religious freedom. They took away your education, shutting down the schools, made kids wear masks, took away your livelihood, shut down your businesses that were not essential. They chose winners and losers for Pennsylvania essential stores and businesses, and shredded your election integrity, and kicked the Green Party off the ballot. They say that the mega party is going to end democracy. No, they're trying to end democracy. They're the ones that are trying to end democracy. Look what they did with President Joe Biden. Kicked him off the ballot. Kicked him off the primary ballot. And then put Kamala Harris in, who wasn't even nominated or elected to be the candidate on the Democrat side. Then in Pennsylvania here, they kicked off the Green Party off the ballot. This is ending democracy. And we don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic and representative constitutional republic. And so we need to continue the fight. We need to continue to get out there and show them that that these judges and these people listen to we the people. They listen to us. They listen to the populist movement. This is a populist movement in Pennsylvania and York County. So get out and fight. Get angry enough to get out there and vote on November 4th, 2025, and get it done, and get our candidates across the ballot in 2025, November 4th. This is our urgency. Action, 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 guys. This is what it's all about. It's using your agency, using your vehicle of agency. And we need to start here, and we need to start now. So, well, that's all I have for you today.